On today's Outdoor Icon Show, you'll learn everything about backyard bird watching, and you too can be a citizen scientist. So stay tuned, you're watching the Outdoor Icon Show.
Rob, I can't believe how many birds we saw right in the middle of the city in someone's backyard today.
Well, then that's why I wanted to bring you out here to Wild Birds Unlimited, located in Boardman, so we can look to see what we need to do to develop our own backyard environment for bird watching.
They have a little bit of everything here. The owner, Jeff, is going to teach us today about bird houses, bird feeders, bird seed, and the latest technology and bird guides so that we can learn how to be a naturalist right in our own backyard.
Yes, because I need to see what some of these birds sound like and what they look like.
Well, we know what they sound like in the wild when we do bird watching down the barrel of a shotgun. We're going to learn today how to do it right from your back window and how to appreciate the nature we have around us a little bit better.
And then that'll segue right into Jeff Crystal, Cooking with Crystal, where we're going to cook a little bit of wild turkey.
A great recipe Jeff has lined up for us today. And we're going to visit with a homeowner. We're going to visit with the Pates up in Champion, Ohio. They're going to show us what they did at very little expense to their backyard so they can make their backyard a nice little ecosystem where they and their family and friends enjoy birding.
Well, that sounds good. Then why don't we go try and find Jeff and hook up with him and see what we need to do to get started.
I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Well, let's go.
If I'm a novice, I just bought a house, moved into the city, have a backyard, have a few trees out there, and I notice there's some birds in the neighborhood. What do I want to do to get started? Show me some different bird houses.
Well, the first thing you would do is start with a hopper feeder.
Hopper feeder?
Hopper feeder, yeah.
Okay, hopper feeder.
It's a hopper, holds a lot of seed. You also can attract a wide variety of birds to these, big and little birds both. So chickadees, titmice, cardinals, blue jays. So this is probably the backyard basic.
Okay.
You start with this, you get a wide variety of birds.
That's the bird feeder 101.
That's the basic bird feeder, that's right, yeah.
Okay. What other types of bird feeders will we need?
And then everybody loves goldfinches, a bright little yellow bird, and we have a finch feeder.
Okay, why is that unique to finch?
Okay, much more specific, very small hole. So only the birds with the very sharp beaks are able to get into there to feed from it.
That makes sense.
And it uses a very special seed. It uses a Niger thistle seed, which is the most attractive seed for the birds.
Okay.
So that would be the next feeder that most people would recommend.
So finches, and what other kind of birds are going to hit this?
Finches.
Just finches only?
It's a very specific feeder. Just for
Okay.
finches.
What's the penalty for feeding another bird's feeder?
Well, the thing is, they can't get anything out of that little hole.
Very good.
Okay, the beaks are the wrong.
So they get no reward?
That's correct.
Okay. So we've got the hopper feeder, we got the finch feeder.
Right.
Finch
Yep.
feeder.
Yep.
Okay, next one?
And then there's the tube feeder.
The tube feeder.
Tube feeder. Again, bigger hole.
Okay.
So you're going to make this more specific for the smaller birds.
All right.
And what you'll do is you'll fill this with a mix of sunflower seeds, safflower, speech-type sunflower, and your chickadees, your titmice, your nuthatches, small woodpeckers will come in this way.
I wonder if that'll keep my dad out then, because you know how much he loves sunflower seeds. His fingers might get stuck.
So it's a really good feeder just to attract the smaller birds.
Okay, so we got the tube feeder now to add to the collection.
Now is there a reason why it's so cylinder, rather than being wide, so vertical?
It's just another design.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a design that's been around for many, many years. It's made out of a polycarbonate tube, very strong, will last forever.
Okay.
And what about the cage ones? I've seen the ones that look like little cages where you stick something in behind them.
Oh, you mean like
one of those?
That's it right there. Suet feeder.
Yeah, suet feeders. And these are made for woodpeckers.
Okay.
Okay. So suet is a rendered beef fat. We have different ingredients that you can mix into the suet to attract the woodpeckers.
Okay.
And a lot of people love to attract woodpeckers. And this feeder is made with this extended area that comes down. It gives a place for the woodpecker to balance with his tail.
Oh, I see.
So you'll get the small downy woodpeckers all the way up to red-bellied, or even if you're really lucky and have a big wooded area, pileated woodpecker.
Yeah, because typically they're usually going under bark to get insects and whatnot, right? Okay.
And the suet is a way to offer the alternative so that you have something to attract into your backyard.
So this is more of like a protein, or?
It is correct.
It's
Yeah,
a protein.
it's rendered beef fat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's rendered down, takes out all the impurities, and they mix in either peanuts or fruit.
Wow.
to make it very attractive to the birds.
Very good.
Now, Jeff, there's some birds I noticed around some of the bird feeders, like the doves. They'll just feed on the ground. They won't go to any type of a bird feeder that I've noticed.
They are ground feeders.
Okay.
And juncos, which are here in the wintertime, and also the sparrows, they'll just eat on the ground. You can throw the seed on the ground if you want, or you can actually
There you go.
add a tray.
Okay.
And the tray is really good because it keeps the rain and the snow out of the seed.
So it filters through, so it doesn't sit there and
That's
rot.
correct. Right. Yep.
And also keeps the seed then from falling down on the ground.
Right. Some people don't want to have it
yeah.
in their grasses.
Okay, Jeff. Well, let's move on over and look at different types of seeds and show us what to fill all these different bird feeders with.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, Jeff. Now that we know about bird feeders, let's talk about what you need to fill the feeders with.
Okay. The most important thing is the type of seed that you put in. You actually will get a wider variety of birds with a blend than with a single seed, because we have more of the favorite seeds for more birds. Sunflower, favorite seed for most species of birds.
They can crack right through the shell. It doesn't have to be shelled
Right.
sunflower seed.
No, it's a very, very soft shell, very easy to do. The little seeds in there is white millet. White millet is a ground feeding blend. It's going to fall on the ground.
Okay.
But that's for your doves, sparrows, juncos.
How do you prevent the millet from growing when it falls on the ground?
Well, that's something that you're going to have a little bit of a hard time doing. You're going to have to just pull it up if it does start to grow.
Okay.
But most people know if you have it in an area where you mow and you mow continuously, it's not really a big issue.
Okay.
Okay, so then there's also other blends, such as this one doesn't have any millet. This is a one where this blend of seeds stays up into the feeders.
Okay.
Good for your hopper feeder, good for your tube feeder. It has a combination of sunflowers, safflower, and a striped sunflower in it. It's for your cardinals, your chickadees, your titmice, and your nuthatches. And so that's a really good blend to just get a good variety of songbirds in your yard. Then we've got the thistle seed. Remember I showed you the finch feeder earlier?
Yeah, I've seen the thistle socks and things like
Right,
that.
exactly right. Very small little black seed
Wow.
that is really attracted to the finches. Goldfinches love it. In the wintertime, you can get pine siskins and common redpolls if we have a winter where those birds come down into our area.
Okay.
Then there's always mixed nuts.
Well, that looks like that's a good mix for us to eat on the old recliner, huh, Dad?
Yeah.
It has peanuts in it. It has walnuts. It has just a bunch of different mixed nuts. People put this out for the woodpeckers.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, woodpeckers love mixed nuts, and so you can get a really nice variety of birds with that.
That seems like that would draw a lot of squirrels, though.
yeah.
That's true. You got to put it to a place where squirrels can't get at it.
Okay, what's the smaller stuff
Okay,
in
and
here?
then we've got a backyard surprise, basically, live foods. And then with some mealworms. Put out mealworms, you can attract more varieties of birds. The non-seed eaters, you can put this out to get wrens, and the phoebes will come to this. So it's a great, great offering to attract more birds to your bag.
What would you put this in? How would you contain that so they just don't
Right,
crawl away?
you need to have it in a feeder that has smooth, straight sides, so they can't crawl out.
And then what typically, this is the larvae of
Of a beetle.
an insect, of a beetle. Okay.
Right, and you keep it in your refrigerator, which means it keeps the worms dormant so they won't hatch.
Or you could take it fishing.
Yeah, we've used this trout fishing, opening day of trout season over in Pennsylvania.
Now, what percentage of birds are you? There's a mixture, I guess, in here of berries, seeds, nuts, and even live things. Are most of the songbirds we see in our backyard, are they carnivorous? Are they herbivores? Are they omnivores?
Most of the ones are seed eaters. Again, seed-eating birds are the majority of the birds you're going to attract to your backyard. The other birds, you can plant plantings for them. You know, berry-producing bushes will attract even more birds to your yard.
How do birds know that there's seed waiting for them?
They see it.
They actually see
It's all
it?
done by sight.
Are they black and white, or they see color? Most birds, you know?
I'm not
Denny?
sure about that.
I think that's a mixture. One thing I know about birds, though, is
That might
They
be
don't
next
have-
segment with Jim.
I know birds don't have no nasal glands. They can't
Okay.
smell. So you can touch seed. They can't smell you coming. They don't know if seed's been tainted, things like that. So that's one of the tips that I kind of picked up in
Oh, yeah.
college.
Okay, well, very good.
Okay, Rob, now we know what to put inside the bird feeders. Let's move on over through the store and let's find out how we identify those critters that are at our bird feeders.
We'll get to that in a little bit. Stay tuned, watching the Outdoor Icon Show.
This Outdoor Icon Show factoid is brought to you by First Metropolitan Mortgage. Stay tuned, the Outdoor Icon will be right back.